guys? It's your boy TG, and yeah, bring it from the bottom. You're locked in to Goode Entertainment. Yeah, I'm back. I got some people that called me out. Yeah, we're back. And you got that right. Dallas sucks. I forgot. We're in the show. But hey, my name is TG. Beside me today is MPG, Marco Polo, the greatest. Martell and Cam with the plan couldn't be with us today. They're taking care of other things they got to do. And Marcus, first off, how you feeling? We're back here all over again, week 5.
I feel good. Week 5 is an interesting season. I just can't wait to see what today's going to bring.
Well, we got a lot of things, and first we're going to London, where the Jets and the Falcons. The game looks one way right now. It's 20-9. 3 minutes ago, I think in the third, and yeah, Matt Ryan just threw an interception to the Jets. Or not even interception, but a forced fumble, and the Jets recovered, and now they're on the way to get a touchdown if they make Zach Wilson throw an interception. Obvious, the Falcons are up, and Matt Ryan looking really decent, and now it looked like the ice is melting under pressure in London. But we'll get you more information when that comes out, and we'll develop all of the stuff as this podcast unfolds. Again, welcome to Good Gotcha Entertainment, where all things are good and the Cowboys do suck. But let's talk about some things before we get into this Sunday's matchups and stuff that goes on. Let's talk about the problem that happened Thursday night as Seattle took on the Rams in the 12-man, and it was a really highly contested game. But now looking at this thing, we went to the third quarter, as some people would say, was really, really defensive. And we got to see a mixture of everything. We got to see Matt Stafford trying to bomb over back. We got to see Russell and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and defenses and Jalen Ramsey and blah, 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 this and that and this. But when the third quarter happened, everything went to trash. Russell Wilson was injured. Was redeemed and put out the game, went to the blue tent. They checked him out. They said no go. Now, to find out later on that he has a thumb injury and he has 2 issues that's happening, and now he's thinking that okay, he's not going to be able to play for 6 to 8 weeks. But let's talk about not only that, but let's talk about Geno Smith, the guy that came from the Jets, the guy that has been a starter once before. He's had a decent career for his college level, the collegiate level, then getting his sights into the NFL. But let's talk about Geno. And before I turn it over to you, Russell exited that game, didn't come back. Geno stepped in. He did not give them what they wanted. But he as a backup, he came in, he did what he had to do. But in this sense of things, Russell's out. Geno went 10 of 17. He had 131 yards passing. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Really decent for a second-string quarterback to come into a matchup and actually do. But tell me this. The Rams moved on. They won the game, closed it out, went back to L.A. Now, without Russell Wilson being in the picture now they're going to subject him to 6 to 8 weeks, roughly, with this surgery and figuring out how that goes. How do you think the next few weeks go, or not even a few weeks, the next several weeks without Russell? And if so, do you think Geno Smith is the guy for their club?
I feel like the next couple of weeks, especially with Russell Wilson being out, is going to be a tough one. Because as you mentioned, Geno Smith, me personally, I thought he was out of the NFL. I didn't even know he was still in the league. But to see Geno Smith try and come in, try to be the game manager, and try helping the team win, even though he couldn't, that shows leadership, that shows gratitude, and shows that Geno Smith still has something left in the tank. But do I think he'll be able to continue on? It just depends. He just gotta, stay. I want to say stay consistent, but also be able to make quick and smart decisions in order to help your team rally and win games and move the chain moving forward. If he can do that with the Seattle Seahawks, I feel like the Seahawks can be in a more comfortable position until Russell Wilson gets back.
We will see a lot of things in Thursday night, it was a tale of two stories. He threw the touchdown, everybody goes, okay, Gino may be the guy. And then he goes in there and throws this ugly pass over, and I'm like, what are you doing? And that was an interception into the game with 2 minutes left, and the Rams took that game. Now, just to let you guys know, the 4 out of the next 6 games will be against a title contender, meaning somebody that's going to probably reach the playoffs, even though it's too close to call right now and say it's early in the season in week 5. But right now, there are 4 people that's standing in their way out of those next 6 games that Gino has to get prepared for. And do he got some big shoes to fill? Damn right, he got some big shoes to fill because it's Russell Wilson, a veteran QB, an MVP, a future Hall of Famer, and that's what you got to look at. So we will see what happens in Seattle without their star quarterback for the next 6 to 8 weeks. 8 weeks looking more as projection to what they're going to do. Now, let's flip the switch. And let's not talk about a star quarterback, but let's talk about a head coach. And let's talk about Jackson Jaguars, Urban Myers. Not only Urban Myers has a record of being defeated, and that means not winning a game this season. And it looks like he's not going to win today if I look at that. But Urban Myers was found videoed in a bar-like setting, dancing, gyrating, in some kind of setting. He apologized to the team for his actions. And we've all seen the video, and I wish I could play it here for you, but I don't have the video. But at this rate of issue, do you think with Urban Meyer's record, where's it at?
Right.
Of being completely defeated, and then doing some unworthy actions in a bar, as a head coach in the NFL, should he keep his job, be still here, or should he be dismissed? Because you're not doing nothing, you're creating more harm than you're doing good, and how are you supposed to set the bar and be the bar if you're low and you're not knowing how? He's being a manager. These are things that a manager do as a team. Teams in the NFL need leaders. Somebody that sets the example. Somebody that goes above and beyond their call of duty. And he's not doing none of that. As a head coach, I say go back to college and act like this never happened. What's your thoughts?
And I agree with you. I mean, so far, Urban Meyer, he just haven't shown me that he is that head coach that can win games at an NFL professional level. I feel like going back to college is the right move because you was more so comfortable in the system and just getting guys in shape, getting guys disciplined, and just helping your team win games when he was at Ohio State. Now you're in the NFL. Jacksonville Jaguars is 0-4. They can't get any type of rhythm going within themselves. I just feel like something has to change or something needs to change in order for the Jacksonville Jaguars to be successful.
Yeah, we will see that. We'll see how they play today in their game. But before we go into Sunday's matchups, got a couple other tasks to take at hand. Just to bring up the knowledge, Bubba Wallace wins the Talladega, becomes the second African American driver to win a NASCAR Cup race. His dad was a legend, and now he's becoming in the footsteps of your dad or his dad. And I just think that's a great achievement. I just wanted to bring that up. It just give him kudos to whatever he's doing and how he's doing it in NASCAR sport that's predominantly Caucasian. Now he's trying to revolve the door to make it a multicultural ballpark. But also, to bring up the quick mentions about the NBA players, the 18 of them that violated the health services of the NBA. How stupid are you? Do you think that these people are in the midst of a pandemic? You think that the NBA gives you all this stuff, and you're trying to violate as an NBA player? I'm not even getting no more into it. I'm going to skip that because I don't even want to get in that conversation. But we'll keep you updated on the Jacks and Falcons game in London. That game currently going on, and the score is just all over the place. But let's talk about one of the matchups today. We got our NFL woes that happened last week, which I'm not going to even bring up this week. I'm not even going to bring up this week. But I will bring up this week's categories. And this is going to be the showdowns that happened this week and the games to watch for this week. We will talk about now the Green Bay Packers going to Cincinnati against the Bengals. A veteran MVP quarterback that won the Super Bowl versus a young, new in the system Joe Burrow. And that's Aaron Rodgers and Joe Burrow going head to head today in Cincinnati. Two red hot offenses have proved themselves through the first 4 games of the season. And both teams are taking a loss. So they both are hungry to keep on winning. But they're trying to get to 4-1. Most teams are less than that right now. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers has been impressive through the rest of through the first part of the season, but game 1. Joe Burrow having a game coming shy to a field goal last a couple 2 weeks ago, but in this game, Aaron Rodgers or Joe Burrow, who has a more successful game?
I would say Aaron Rodgers, just because like he has that veteran presence and that veteran swagger and just getting his guys involved, especially with his go-to guy in Devontae Adams. We seen those two just clicking in all cylinders. Not to knock off Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals because they have been successful, they have been winning games, but against a team like the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers is the more so quarterback that has the upper edge in just getting things done as they should.
And talking about Aaron Rodgers, we've seen what Rodgers did last week and how he desecrated that defense and pulled them apart. We see what Joe Burrow in the offense is capable of doing, but one thing Joe Burrow may not have today is Joe Mixon because he's downgraded to, I believe, questionable and doubtful in that area right now, which having a star like that, you need it in a game like this against Green Bay. But one thing Aaron Rodgers doesn't have today, and that means he has all of the offensive weapons that he needs. Don't get me wrong. But one thing he don't have is this Jair Alexander on the opposite side of the field trying to stop an offense from scoring. And they have a injured Kevin King today. Their secondary is banged up. Jalen Smith came into town, but he won't play today, from what I understand. But in the same sense, you look at this. How much defense will Green Bay have to support their cast today against Joe Burrow and his Bengals? How would they fare without Jair Alexander and a banged up Kevin King? Will this be an offensive show out, or will it be somehow a surprising present of a defensive shutdown?
I feel like it's going to be more offensively just because you got two talented quarterbacks on opposite sides, and what's similar with Aaron Rodgers and Joe Burrow, they both have their chemistry go-to guys. Like I mentioned before with Aaron Rodgers, you have Devontae Adams. On the other side with Joe Burrow, you have Jamar Chase. They both went to LSU together, so they already have that chemistry from the collegiate level all the way up to the pro level. And so I feel like it's going to be a shootout offensively. However, I do think the Green Bay Packers defense can get a stop at Joe Burrow if they just get some good hits in and also try to create some turnovers from the defensive front.
So who you got winning this game? I mean, it's gonna be a tight contest, and I mean, as a Packers fan myself, saying it's gonna be a contest. I mean, I see this game winning either a field goal or a touchdown. I mean, it's gonna be really, really good to see how both offenses do with both defenses being where they at today. So who you got winning this game?
I'm picking Green Bay, but I think it's going to be a close score.
I got Green Bay. I think it's going to be really, really close. I think it'll be within a touchdown. If you're betting in the spread, you might want to do 3.5, just saying. But let's talk about another team and another cruel. I mean, not even cruel matchup, but a matchup that both teams need, and it may be ultimately a stepping stone towards the right direction. Let's talk about the Saints going into Washington, the football team. Both teams this year, the Saints looked promising week one against Green Bay, five touchdowns against. I mean, James Winston creating havoc, and then a week later he throws two interceptions. Which who called it me? But I'm just saying, kudos. But the Washington football team's offense beat the Falcons last week in a nail-biting game, which I don't know if that's two trash teams playing each other or just a young quarterback saying, I'm going to go get this win. And ever since Ryan Fitzpatrick, the starter, left, he said, Washington said, oh, well, it's going to be Fitzpatrick's job to keep. And now they're like, I don't know. Taylor Heineke has proven himself. Yes, this guy is very, very hungry. Let me tell you how hungry he is. This kid went to ODU. This kid went there not only and graduated with undergrad, he went and got his graduate degree. He didn't know if football was going to be the option for him. He sat back and completed his studies and still is. And he tells us a story every single week on the NFL Network, on the Washington football team screen. This kid's hungry. This kid wants it, and he's going to get the starting position. And I think Taylor Heineke, keeps that position, and it's only his to lose. I don't think Fitzpatrick gets it when he comes back. This kid is hungry. This kid has the mentality. This kid fights adversity. He does it every single week in Washington. And I would say the only concern that I have is not with Tyler Heineke. I think it's with the Washington football's defense. They got to step it up. One thing I have been disrespected on is the Washington football team defense because the last few weeks they haven't been aggressive. And Taylor Heineke has to have to be that go-getter attitude, which he has. And he tells you about the time sitting in his living room not knowing he's going to have a starting position, that he liked football. But the Washington football team, yes, Chase Young, you have to be called out. Yes, the Washington football team secondary has to be called out because they need to go do something. They need to do better. When your quarterback has to go out there and damn sure near hurt himself every play, you don't need that. And your offense shouldn't have to be on the field all the time. Both sides don't need to be on the team all the time. But you would like your offense to go out there and manage the game. You would like your offense to go out there and just keep the wheel turning a little bit. And my thing is, I need Washington football team's defense to show up today. Not because I got them in fantasy football. It's because I just need them to show this that they still have it. You can have Chase Young, but damn it, you need to wake up on the rest of the side of the ball. But can Washington football team's defense create havoc against Jameis Winston and the Saints?
I think they will create havoc, but it's like you mentioned, it's all up to the defense to try and stop Jameis Winston. You don't want to give Jameis Winston too much time in the pocket where he sees a go-to guy and he just throws it up over you for at least amount of yards that he can get. So it's important that the Washington's defense try to stop Jameis Winston, and if not Jameis Winston, try to stop your receivers or running backs as well in order for them to become one-dimensional and become complacent. So if they can do that, I got Washington football team winning this game. I feel like it's going to be a tight score back and forth, but I think Washington football's team is the team to pull it off.
I mean, this conversation too. I think Taylor Heineke is a better QB. He's younger. I think he's still a better QB in this conversation.
And like you mentioned before, he's more hungry.
But on top of that, how much of an impact will not even that. Logan Thomas is out today after injuring a leg injury last week that didn't look bad, but some of them leg injuries, they don't have to look bad to be bad. But how much of an impact will Logan Thomas absent be? He's going to be absent for 3 weeks. How much of an impact would that have on the Washington football team's offense?
I think it's a little concern that Logan Thomas is out. It just means that the receivers around you, Terry McLaurin, he just have to be that guy now to just step up and lead the wide receiver chain moving forward. I mean, with Logan Thomas being out, it is detrimental. It is unfortunate. But like you mentioned, you gotta keep the train rolling. You gotta find ways to help your team win games. And I feel like with the Washington football team, they can be in a decent position if they just give other receivers involved. Have nice and smart adjustments in order to help build this team around you be successful.
They are going to have to do that, and the Saints play in Washington today. Like to see that game. That game probably will be on TV for the local people that live in Virginia. But let's talk about the Browns going to go against Chargers. Baker Mayfield playing with a torn labrum in the left shoulder, non-throwing arm. He said he would play until it comes a complication to the actual throwing shoulder. But not to only mention, the Chargers are have won the last two meetings between these two guys. Not only that, they're 3 or 4 of the last series. The whole series, they won almost 90% of the games, 75% of the games in the last four. But if this is a question, if the Chargers capitalize on today's game, and if they win, do the Chargers become the team to beat in the AFC?
I'll say I'll say no. Even though the LA Chargers team is scary, especially defensively with Joey Bosa, and then in the secondary you have Derwin James. They they are a scary team, and also with Justin Herbert, he's playing phenomenal. He's playing lights out. But when you look outside of the AFC, you still have teams like the Buffalo Bills that's also playing lights out with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and also Singletary. So as of right now, the LA Chargers, they can be that team that can be beat, but I feel like the Buffalo Bills, as of right now, they have that more so advantage.
I understand that, and today's game is going to be a really contested game. How much will that arm affect Baker? How much of the defense will affect him? I think today it's going to really show. And I think today, I picked the Chargers winning this. I think they go into Cleveland and they do some damage, and I think they show them what it's all about. And I think this is how it goes. I think Chargers win by, let's say, 10 points.
I think the Chargers will win. I think the Chargers will win by a touchdown. Even though Baker Mayfield is banged up, it's no doubt in my mind that he's going to give it all he has in order to try helping his team win this game. But I feel like the LA Chargers, they are more healthy, they're more scary team, and they're going to try to knock the Cleveland Browns off and get their win.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Hey, well, I got one thing for you. We're going to take a commercial break, but we'll be back in 30 seconds. You guys stay there. We'll be back. Be blessed. Say the rest. Take 30. I'll be there. Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, I knew that took a long, long time, but hey, welcome back to You Got Your Entertainment. Thank you for joining us. We talked about the Browns. We talked about the Packers and Bengals. We talked about Russell Wilson and the boys. We talked about Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team and what kind of havoc they may create today. But let me tell you this. This conversation we're about to have is what people's been calling me out about. This is what you guys been calling me out, and I have to bring it to you because you guys called me out on it, and I hope you guys are watching. And if you don't know, go get all your Dallas Cowboy fans. I'll give you a couple seconds to get your Dallas Cowboy fans because they've been on me. They've been saying I've been away. Oh, and I'm not away. I'm not away. I'm not away. Because remember, the Dallas Cowboys suck. Oh, my mug. See, that's how much y'all suck. Y'all can't even keep glue on the paper. The Dallas Cowboys suck. You see it. You see it. Dallas suck. You see it. Don't act like you don't. You see that, do you? That's the thing. Dallas Cowboy fans are playing against the Giants in Dallas today. They had an impressive game. They had an impressive 2 last weeks. But guess what? You suck. It ain't the same thing. But Dallas has had an impressive 2 weeks. I'm not going to take it from them. I'm going to give them credit where it's due. As much as I don't like to, as much as I don't like the Dallas Cowboys, I don't want to give them credit. But one thing I will say is that Dak Prescott is on his 1 year anniversary. Mm-hmm. 1 year anniversary of having that gruesome, disgusting leg injury that we seen on TV last year against this very team. The Giants, one of the only teams that kind of hold that rank against them to beat them. If nobody else can, they will. Which we know a lot of teams can beat the Dallas Cowboys. But today is a new day for Dallas and a new day for the Giants. Mm-hmm. The Giants trying to get another win, and the Cowboys trying to go and win the division. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys and the trash talkers as always, and I don't really care about them. I love you guys, but I don't love the team. I don't know. But let's talk about this. Today, do we see Danny Dobbs, or as Cam would say, Danny Dumbass today? Who do you think we see behind that offensive line of the New York Giants?
I think today we'll see Danny Dumbass today. I really think so. However, on the flip side of the Dallas Cowboys, you mentioned Dak Prescott and his 1 year anniversary with the gruesome injury. It's important for Dak Prescott to not be distracted mentally because of that injury. I know he's probably thinking to himself he can't have that trickle playing that in his mind mentally. And if he can block out that noise and he can try and control that, then I feel like the momentum, the impression that the Dallas Cowboys have shown us over the last couple of weeks, I feel like they can win this game and that momentum can continue.
And I think, today the Cowboys got the more upper hand. I mean, last week, not only playing against the Panthers, scoring 36 points, but the week before, putting up 40 points against the Eagles. Mm-hmm. You got to give credit where it's due. And Dak Prescott has been playing pretty much lights out, arguably. And one thing I'm kind of concerned about is their defense did arguably well, losing Jalen Smith and Andrew Green Bay. But we're not going to say nothing about that. But in the same sense, are the Cowboys too talented for the Giants today?
I say yes, because how offensively we've seen how Ezekiel Elliott has been. It's like he's getting the rhythm going into his 2016 vibes. He feels like he's back healthy again. He feels like he's more comfortable again. Everything around him is just clicking at him at the right moment. And then on the defensive side, the secondary, Trayvon Diggs, he's been playing lights out, getting picks back to back weeks. I feel like with the Dallas Cowboys as a whole, if they just know their assignments, if they can just continue with their assignments and play mistake-free football, then it allows them to have that much more upper advantage. And with the Dallas Cowboys winning by plus scores.
And I think today's game is one of those games looking at the Giants like, come on, Giants.
Exactly.
But you look at the Cowboys, like right now, you kind of like, Giants, you're looking a little ugly. But I want to go lead with this question. Are the Cowboys, are they able to be trusted? Because we see what they do against people in their division, like a Panthers team, Look, Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. They see it against the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, and then they're playing against the Giants. They're playing non-contender teams. They're playing. Do you understand this, Cowboys? Y'all don't understand that y'all are playing teams that are not even going to make the playoffs. Get that inside your brain. You're playing organizations that are going to be on the couch in the regular season, just like you guys are at the end. I'm just saying. Because, I mean, it is what it is. When y'all play against a team that actually got some worthiness, you're playing a rookie in Jalen Hurts. You're playing Sam Darnold. And you remember what he did in New York in the Jets. You're playing Danny Dumbass in the Giants. And you did it all in Dallas. Give me somebody that's a contender. We need to get somebody that has some worthiness. Somebody that's going to be in the playoffs. But you can't. Anyway, I think the Cowboys do win today because they're playing Danny Dumbass, as Cam would say. And they're just a better team out of these two. I mean, what you can do, you got garbage from garbage. What you do, you set it on fire. I mean, what else you got to do? I mean, nothing else you can do. Because guess what? Remember that Dallas sucks. On to the next one. But to another more competitive game, the 49ers play the Cardinals. Two more offensive red hot teams. Two more teams with young quarterbacks. Two more with great, with decent to great defenses. Jimmy Garoppolo out, and now you got Trey Lance getting his first official start, which we've seen him in between the season so far. In the first 5 weeks, we've seen him kind of transition in and out and make plays. Don't get me wrong, but George Kittle is out. Also, another setback for their offense. But let me ask you this. Is Trey Lance ready to start? We've seen him come in, and we've seen another team, and that's the Saints, do the same approach, where they not only had Drew Brees, and then they put in a heel, or they put in Jameis, and they mix and match and mix and match. But do this kind of system work? And now that he's going to be the full man to go, do you think Trey Lance is ready to start for the 49ers?
I say yes, only because of like what he has already shown, what he's capable of in the preseason. I feel like it can transition to him starting in a more good, positive way. However, the game will come so short for Trey Lance and the 49ers. And then, to mention, you don't have George Kittle that can help your team out. So, and then you got Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, 4-0, by the way, the only undefeated team in the league. They off to a hot start. And I feel like with the 49ers going up against these high Arizona Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals, for them, that hot streak continues.
I think it continues, and on the other side, the Cardinals blew the league up from as a start, remain the only team being undefeated. As Kyler Murray, D Hop, Kirk, all the boys on the defense still creating havoc. And not only that, an impressive breakdown as they won 37-20 against the deadly Rams defense. But Kyler Murray was 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He might have got sacked a couple times, but what quarterback doesn't? That's my question. But then on top of that, what has to happen today for the Cardinals to find success against the 49ers? Because their defense is no slouch. And they could, then you underestimate somebody, they can't beat you. And we've seen that happen. But I don't even want to go to that question. And how, I mean, I want to go to that question of how they're going to be undefeated. Will they remain undefeated? You said yes to that. But if the Cards win today against the 49ers, they are potentially a playoff worthy team. Do you think they are the team to beat in the NFC?
As of right now, I say yes. Because with everything good that they got going, you don't wanna fix what's not broken. Everything around them seems to be clicking in all cylinders, and it's like if you change up if you change up an adjustment that you know is not going to work, that could lower your confidence booster tremendously. So it's important for the Arizona Cardinals to just follow their assignment and don't fix what's not broken. And that's in the passing game.
So who you got? 49ers or Cardinals?
I'm picking Arizona.
I think Arizona wins this game. I think they win it in actually blowout fashion today. I think Trey Lance comes in, and I think Trey Lance delivers at least 2 interceptions today.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's ultimately ready, but I think he's not going to be ready for these Cardinals and their defense they have to bring. And they're in Arizona. Did I mention that? They're in their home.
A hostile environment.
It is. But talking about hostile environment and talking about how lethal teams can be, let's talk about tonight's game. Let's talk about the Bills and the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Let's talk about the AFC rematch of the championship where that game was 38-24 and the Chiefs win. Let's talk about how not only Josh Allen was 28-48 in that game. Let's talk about how he had 2 touchdowns, 287 yards. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. 29-38, over 300 yards passing, and 3 TDs. 3 of them things. Yeah, 3 of them things. And let's talk about not only this. Let's talk about how both these teams are fiery and they're hot. One is blue and hot, and one is red and hot. Guess what? That makes an orange fire. But let's talk about not only that. Let's talk about both of these defenses. One of them, the Bills, finally woke up after a stupid game that they had. They said, let's set that to the side. But let's talk about the Chiefs. Their defense is not the best. And let's talk about how Patrick Mahomes has to score 40 points almost a game to be successful against any team. Now you're going against another AFC matchup, a possible another remake that we could see in the future of the AFC in the playoffs. But let's talk about this. Will this offensive matchup, or will this game be an air raid over both offenses going over Baghdad? Would this be a one-sided affair, meaning the Bills shut up the Chiefs and say, send them home? Can we see Patrick Mahomes and the boys struggle? Or will this be a defensive shutdown? Will both defenses find a way to shut up both offenses and make it their own game?
I think it's going to be a shootout offensively because as the Kansas City Chiefs team has been offensively, they've been handling business. A couple of miscues, but they shown that they can handle business. However, my biggest concern with the Kansas City Chiefs team is their defense being suspect. However, with the Kansas City Chiefs defense being suspect, I do think offensively they can score some points. A back and forth matchup between Mahomes and Allen. I feel like it's going to be a shootout. However, the Buffalo Bills will win. I want to say in a 38-35 matchup.
I think it'd be a great matchup. Not only that, who does this game mean more to going into this AFC rematch, but who does this game mean more to? We've seen Josh Allen and the boys the last couple weeks blow up things. We've seen Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs struggle yet to even win. They win a game, and it's like, where are you at right now, Mahomes? And where are you at, defense? But when you got a defense that makes you stay on the field so much, and you got a defense that doesn't do anything, and you got to score 40 points a game, then what you expect was to happen? But Knox or Kelsey, who has a better game tight end wise? These are two of the best tight ends in the league right now.
Well, tight end wise, I have to give it to Travis Kelsey. I mean, he's one of the best tight ends in the league for a reason, putting up tremendous numbers each week. I feel like Travis Kelsey would have a decent game.
I think they both have a decent game, but Travis Kelsey will mean more to the team than Knox. Because believe it or not, the Buffalo Bills offense is so multifaceted. And both these teams are so multifaceted, you don't know who's going to get the ball.
And then also another reason why I say Travis Kelsey is because he's one of the more reliable aspects in your offense alongside with Tyreek Hill.
And let's talk about this. Regardless of the game results that we see tonight, will this shift the MVP conversation? Because here we have 2 MVP candidates fighting against each other tonight to win a game. But how much will this shift that conversation tonight?
I feel like it does shift the conversation just a little bit because you still have Kyler Murray and all others competing for that MVP race. So it's just going to come down to which quarterback wants it more. And I think that quarterback that wants it more is Josh Allen. Just replaying back at that AFC Championship game between him and Patrick Mahomes and just losing in that home field, I feel like this is the game where Josh Allen is more hungry, he's more ready to go, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win this game.
He will try and do whatever it takes. But my last question before we close out: how can the Bills defense stop Patrick Mahomes tonight?
They have to try and make Patrick Mahomes, I think, one dimensional. Yes, you can try and blitz Patrick Mahomes, but you also have to keep in mind that with the blitz, Patrick Mahomes can beat you at any particular level. So you can try blitzing him, but also try some zones and man-to-man coverage.
We will see that happen. That game's tonight. We see other interesting games that probably is going to determine the season for some teams because once you fall so far behind, it's hard to catch up. But talking about that, we will be back tomorrow night, Monday night, as your Ravens take on who?
The Colts.
The Colts. And we'll see how that plays out. And we'll be here tomorrow night to give you the nail down of not only the NFL woes from week 5, but we'll close out week 5 with the NFL woes, if there is any, with the Colts and the Ravens. And we'll see how that goes. But we got a lot we done talked about. We don't have Cam's Corner today. But all I can say is be blessed. Save the rest, guys. We out. Peace.